Perfect. All right. So the Harmonic scanner is definitely a powerful tool that each of you all can benefit from a trading standpoint. I know a lot of you all are part of our IML traders chat. You get on the London sessions and all that good stuff. But the scanner is something that you can benefit from. And I know a lot of people had been asking questions about how to utilize the scanner without having a lot of understanding. So what we'll do is go through and I'll pull a few examples. Because the market is closed, none of these will more than likely be able to be something that could potentially be entered in. Well, I know you can't enter it on your phone today because the market is closed, but just from us looking, we may be able to see some potential setups that you could potentially be able to benefit from when the market opens tomorrow. Now, just so you know, the strategy that I'm going to show with you with regards to the scanner is a lot more simple than what you may have seen before, because a lot of times when it is explained by different traders who are more advanced, they sometimes forget that they're talking to people who are new. So drawing all the Fibonacci and all of that stuff is just extra things that they do because of the trader mindset. So what I'm going to share with you today is specific to just reading the scanner and putting in the information that the scanner has to offer. So when you come to IML harmonicscanner.com, you will actually log in with your iMarkets Live username and password that you use to access your back office. So I've already logged in, so I'm coming here. All right, so once you get to the Harmonic scanner here, this is what it looks like. It pulls up a pair. So if you look here, it tells you it's CADJPY, which is the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen. So before I go into this, you guys, this is the same concept that you would use if you were in the IML traders chat and Lee or one of our other traders said, buy CADJPY at this point and put your stop loss here and put your take profit here. The scanner does the exact same thing. It allows you to see the pair. It scans for a potential setup. It allows you to see the pair. It tells you whether to buy or sell. It tells you where to enter. It tells you where your stop loss is. It tells you where your take profit is. So it's super amazing because you're able to use this 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week. So every time the market is open, the scanner is working. So once you open up this page, it normally will pull up a pair. 9 times out of 10, it's the most recent pair that has a potential setup. In this particular example, though, you can see that the candlesticks have gone beyond the pattern. So this honestly wouldn't be a trade that I would enter because, you know, generally you want to try to get in at the point that it's telling you to enter. But just for the purposes, let me explain to you what you're seeing. You are seeing the hour chart, okay, of the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen. And in seeing this particular chart, this pattern that you see is some of the harmonics. I'm not 100% familiar with how to draw those and all of that, but I know what I'm telling you about to share with you has let me make profit in my sleep. So if you want to learn more about drawing these and what they mean, in your back office under IML Academy, there is a section that talks about harmonic patterns. That's something that you can, you know, do some studying with if you want to get to the point where you're able to kind of draw those out to make analyzations or predictions of what the market is going to do. So this scanner does all of that for you, so you don't have to do it. But I always encourage people to take that extra step and go that extra mile to try to learn, you know, something extra so that, you know, you're able to make those different types of, you know, interpretations on your own at some given point. And that's something that Adaze, Rashard Duncan's wife, awesome trainer that we have, that's what she was able to do. She spent 1 to 2 months getting on the London sessions and studying so that she could learn how to actually read this. So anyway, that was just my little spiel on that. So basically, when you're looking at the scanner, there are a few things I want to point out that you want to pay attention to. So, all right, I'm moving the chart over so you can see. On this right-hand side over here, this gives you basically all the information you need to know. Sometimes you have to adjust so you can see everything. So for example, this is the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen. If you look here where the green lines that say entry, there are two entry points, 888.53328 and 88.22682. So what that's telling you, and this is, how you can choose to interpret. Some people look at this as, if the candles are in between there, I can go ahead and enter. Some people look at it as, when it hits that particular entry point, I wait to enter. So I honestly enter it when it gets to, if it's a sell, I normally enter it if it touches the higher line, or I wait until it goes back down to the lower line. And the reason for that is, if you were to enter this trade here when the candlestick hit here, you going in a sell, but it's still retracing and going up first, if that makes sense. So you're going to go in the negative first before it goes down. So just something to kind of look at. Is no right or wrong way to do it, but just know that if you, based on your entry point, you could be dealing with a little bit of retracements and things like that before you go into profit. But make note of this. Anytime you have an entry point and your take profits are below the entry point, that means you're going to sell, okay? And I'm going to give you an example of a buy. So make sure you make note of that, because this particular chart doesn't specifically say buy or sell. But just from the knowledge that you've gained to this point, you should know that if the price is going down, you want to sell. So your take profits are below. They're going down. So you want to sell. So as along with this example, as I mentioned, it tells you where to enter the trade. It tells you where to put your stop loss. And it gives you your take profit points. Now, with regards to your take profit points, you have take profits 1, 2, or 3. Take profit 1 is always going to be the lesser profit, and take profit 3 is always going to be the greater profit. So with that being said, it's totally up to you which take profit point that you pick. On the safer side, a take profit 1 could work. On the more risky side, a take profit 3. Majority of the time I do take profit 2, and sometimes profit 1. I barely ever do the take profit 3. It does hit at some points, but sometimes just things with the market, you're more likely to hit that 1 or 2 with regards to that. So I hope that's pretty clear. So the way that you go about looking for pairs, if you look here closer to the middle to the left, you have scan for M15, and you have scan for H1, H4, and D1. So scan for M15 is looking at the 15-minute chart and is looking at potential setups that you can have. I personally do not trade this chart because I'm not a scalper. Because it is a shorter time frame chart, you have to really be watching it because things will move fast. But anyway, so if you were to pick scan for M15, the pairs that are up top are the most recent ones. So you want to focus more at the top of the list. Now you can click on any of these that you want to see what's happening with them, to see if it's something you could potentially get in. And then also, as you start learning the patterns, you may be like, I want to stay away. Like I know Kathy, she doesn't like sharks patterns, or, so I don't really know what all that means, but I know she does not trade sharks. I don't know why, but as you start to learn, you'll be able to kind of know, just like what pairs you like to trade, you'll know which patterns you like to trade and which patterns you like to stay away from. So with that being said, just for an example, let's just click on this second one, which is the Australian dollar and the Canadian dollar. And when you click on it, it will pull up a new chart along with the pattern. So once again, as I stated, because the market is closed, these are already active. So for example, here, it told you to enter here at 0.96512. If you notice, it went up to the next entry. It has not hit take profit 1 yet, but it looks like it's going back down towards the entry. So with that being said, every harmonic pattern is not 100%. I would say it's about 90% accurate. So just know, with harmonic scanner trades, you want to use proper risk management, and you want to use lower lot sizes, because these are what are called swing trades. Okay. So with the swing trade, it's going to go up, but it's going to go down and vice versa. So you want to make sure you do smaller lot sizes so that you can handle the retracement as it's continuing to swing in the proper direction. I want to try to find one to kind of show you a true example of what. Let me see. Give me a second. Let's look at GBP, AUD. So also the H1, H4, and D1 stands for the 1 hour chart, the 4 hour, and the day chart. So when I click here, it's telling me that it's the Great Britain pound and Australian dollar. They're looking at the 4 hour chart, and there's a potential setup for the 4 hour chart. So when I click on that, it pulls a pattern. And let's move this over a little bit. Bear with me. Okay. So in this particular one, it's basically, so in this case, I will wait till the entry hits here, and then I will enter a buy. So here's an example of a buy. Why? Because the entry is below and your take profit is moving up. Okay. And the way that they determine their take profit is dealing with the whole harmonic pattern. If you notice, like the top point here is a take profit area and so forth. You don't really have to understand and know all of that. If you can literally just copy and paste what's here. And like I said, as you continue to grow in it and learn, you could put yourself in a position to, you know, start drawing this out yourself. So with this particular trade, I'm actually going to watch this tomorrow because it's heading down to this entry for a buy. And so I will potentially buy this at this point, set up a pending order. If you don't know how to set up a pending order, let me know. I can make sure I post some information, but it's the same as entering an active trade, except one extra step that you'll have to take. So I'm going to actually watch this one. So if y'all want to make a note to look at this one tomorrow, I definitely would recommend that you guys do that. So you'll do an entry here and you would select the buy. So you would choose your take profit 1, 2, or 3 and enter your stop loss on this one. And so it's really that simple, and you can just let it run. If it hits profit and you're okay with the profit, you can go ahead and just, you know, take your profit. But I recommend that if you are in a scanner trade, because they're long-term swing trades, don't jump in and out of the trade. So if you pull yourself out of the trade and you make profit, don't jump back in the trade unless you've watched Lee's videos on determining the proper entry. Because what can happen is you can exit the trade and jump back in, but you may be at a point of retracing, which causes you to lose money. So you don't want to, you know, be trying to scalp a swing trade per se. Until you know, gained a little bit more experience with regards to being able to determine those entry and exit points. So let me find another one because I want to be able to show you guys a true example of a trade doing what the scanner is saying. Move this out the way. Okay. All right. So with this particular trade, like you entered it, so somebody can actually get ready to ride this particular trade up as well. So these are actually good setups. It's just that, like, I personally recommend getting in right when it hits it, not after the fact, because you never know what's going to happen. So like if I was to have entered this trade on this blue candle, I would be more so in profit versus entering on this red candle and now it's going back down. So I hope that makes sense. Entry point is everything. You and I can enter the same trade. We can both enter a buy on a trade, but if I enter at point A and you enter at point B, I can be in profit and you can be at loss. So I just want to make sure that y'all are clear and understand that, because it can be extremely, taxing, because sometimes we would see that where somebody would say, why are you in profit and I'm not? I don't understand. Entry point is everything. Like, write that down. Entry point is everything. Study entry points. Lee did a training, I mentioned this already, specifically geared towards understanding and knowing your entry points. That's going to be key to your success with Forex trading. Sometimes scalpers get emotional and jump in and out, and that's more risky. I'm not against scalping. I do it every once in a while, but with my schedule, I don't have opportunities to do that. So I'm always looking for the perfect setup that I can utilize in order to yield the most profit. So let me do some more scans real quick. I really am believing that I'm going to be able to show you a perfect example. A lot of the ones that I pulled up so far, here's one. Yes, I did it. A lot of the ones that I showed you so far are in growth. So those are some potential trades that I'm going to be looking at tomorrow for potential entries on. All right. So here's an example of, let me see. Yeah. So basically, someone asked the question, can you clarify scalping and swing trading? A swing trader is someone who will enter a long-term trade that can be a couple hours, a couple days, a couple weeks. It's more of a long-term, so you're allowing it to swing in whatever direction. So if you look at this chart that I have, if you look by this C towards that D, that's a swing trade. So you notice it's going up and down, but even in it going up and down, the overall trend is down. So a swing trader would ride that all the way down to the bottom. Now, on the flip side of that, a scalp trader, would ride these red candles and sell, but once these blue candles came, they would buy, then they would sell, then they would buy, then they would sell, then they would buy. So they're jumping in and out with regards to that. And so with that being said, you know, the trend is your friend. That's one of the things that I always mention to people. You know, you want to try to trade the trend to be on the safest side, okay? Because, for example, let's just say you enter a sale, so the price is going down, you're making money. You enter this buy right here because you're scalping and you do something and you're not paying attention. So you're still in this buy, but then the price starts going back down. So now you're at a loss, but you're trying to hold on because you think the price is going to go back up. But the price does go back up, but it never gets back to the point where you enter. So you're going to always be in the negative. So if you can condition yourself to try to trade the trend, then you are 99% likely to go back into profit if it's not going against your favor. So I always trade the trend. You want to make sure that you're looking at, you know, the day charts and the 4-hour charts to see what the overall trend is. Okay. So basically with this particular chart, this is too late to enter, but I just wanted to show you an example of if you would have caught this on the scanner, what that would potentially look like. So if you see here at the end of this particular point, it's telling you where to enter. So it told you to enter here, and based on your entry in comparison to take profit 1, 2, and 3, this is a buy. So if you were to enter here at this entry point from the scanner, I didn't mean to do that. I want to show you, I want to be able to tell you how many pips that is. Give me a second. All right, let's see. Okay, it won't let me draw the pips on this one for some reason. I normally do. But just from looking at it, it's probably about, let's just say 600 pips or whatever. I'm just guessing. So let's just say this was 600 pips right here. You enter here and it's already here. You notice it already hit take profit 1. So if you would have saw this and you hit that entry point and enter your take profit 1 and 2 or 2, whichever one you pick, this trade would have automatically pulled you into profit and added that. So let's just say this was 600 pips that moved. You know, that can be $6 for somebody. That could be $60 for somebody. That could be $600 for somebody, you know, based on your lot sizes. So it's super, super strong. That was one of the examples I wanted to show, you know, because as I mentioned, the scanner I've seen, I would say about 90 to 93% accuracy on their potential setups. And so this is a prime example of what that could have looked like for you by putting that particular trade in. So yeah, so that's that. Let me see what questions you have out here. So basically, as far as the pending orders, because I cannot connect my phone to this computer, as I mentioned earlier, there is a video that you'll be able to watch, and I'll post it in the group, and it basically explains it. It's the exact same way that you enter a current trade. It's the exact same way you enter a current trade, except when you get on your trading screen where it says market execution, right where you're changing your lot size, you will click there and it'll tell you, it'll give you your pending order options. You have your buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. Okay. And so when you're looking at the Harmonic scanner and it's giving you an entry point so that you don't have to keep watching the scanner, that's when you want to go in and set up a pending order. So let me try one more time and see if it'll let me share my screen. Give me 1 second, because I did try for like 30 minutes before this call. So bear with me 1 second. All right, let's see. Share iPhone. Okay, yeah, it still will not share for some strange reason. But so I do have a video that I'll post in the group as soon as this call is over, and it does give you information on how to actually it does give you information on how to actually do a pending order. I could pull it up on my computer because I do have MetaTrader 4 on my computer as well, but it would just be confusing because a lot of us use our phones, which is the best option. So I won't do that to you guys to confuse you. But basically, you have 4 different pending orders. So write down what I'm about to tell you. All righty. So you have 4 types of pending orders. You have a buy stop, a buy limit, a sell stop, and a sell limit. Okay. So basically, with the buy stop, you're basically saying that when this, so basically you're saying the price that I want to buy at is a little bit higher than where it is now. So once the price keeps going up and gets to this point, I want to continue, I want to buy because I know it's going to go back, continue to go up. So basically you're saying the price is at $2, but I know if it gets to 10, it's going to go to $20. So if it goes to 10, then I want to buy because we're going to go up to 20. Okay. A buy limit is saying that I know that when this price comes down, it's going to bounce back up. Okay. So that means the price is at $10 right now, but I know that if it gets down to 2, it's not going to go less than 2 and it's going to go back up. So that's kind of how that works and what that looks like. And we've also posted this in the group, but I'm going to post it again. There's a chart for you to have and save it on your phone or on your computer so that you can look at that. And you use that to kind of determine if you need to do, if you're looking at this particular example here, this per se would have been a buy limit. The reason why is because the price was higher. If you look at the chart, the price was higher, and then once it got down, it bounced and went back up. So this is a buy limit. Okay. Now it's going to take some time to get, because honestly, I still don't remember unless I'm looking at the chart. But your app on your phone will never let you enter an order incorrectly. So if you're trying to enter a pending order and you do buy stop, but the box is gray, it's probably because you should do buy limit. So all you have to do is just go in there and change it. So even with all of this, the app and stuff are still helping you with regards to that. All right, let's see. So I will be sending you that video on how to enter a pending trade. I'll be sending you the pending chart that shows you buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop. I have a question. How can you tell when it's too late to enter a trade? By looking at the scanner. Honestly, if it's already hit that entry point and started moving, I personally wouldn't enter the trade. But there are different times, like if there's any retracement happening. So for example, if you're looking at this particular chart, at that entry point, it went up. And then when that retracement happened, there was another potential setup for you to enter the trade. So that's going to actually come with practice and study. And once again, I recommend going on YouTube, look up Living by Design. That's Lee Allen's YouTube channel. And she has all of the trainings there that we've done. She has a particular training gear around entry. So I recommend going back and looking at that. But the key to having the perfect entry is trying to get in right after retracement happens. So in this particular case, it was going up. But when that short retracement happened right there with those 3 candles, when it turned on that next candle, that was the perfect entry to get back in. So as I said, that's going to kind of go along with, just education and training and things like that. So let me see. Can we get an email alert for potential setups? On the downloadable version of the scanner, which some people use, but honestly, it's kind of like a headache trying to install and stuff like that. You can, but on the web version, no. So no notifications actually go out. You just have to, get on there and see what's available for you at that time. All right, so let's see. Hey, Nicole, you're going to get it. All right, so let me see. I'm just going back through to see if there's any other questions out there that I didn't answer. Okay, when we are given instruction to jump in a sell or trade from swipe trades, are they using the scanner? No, they're not using the scanner. These are completely different. The swipe trades actually comes from analyzation from Justin Adams. He's the one that's over the IML Elite Trading Signals Group. So that particular signals group, they use everything from the swipe trades. Before he started doing the swipe trades, he did use the scanner, but now he does some things separately from the actual scanner. Document with what type of information? All righty, let's see. I answered that. Is there a better time of day to use the scanner? Honestly, not really. Like one of the things that you'll learn as you continue to go on is certain pairs that have more activity during certain times of the day. So one of the things that I would encourage is doing what's called back testing. I just really learned what back testing was. I heard it, but didn't really understand it. But basically what back testing is pulling up particular pairs and time frames and just scrolling back in history to kind of see what's happening and when the biggest moves happen. So I learned some things with the USD JPY yesterday of some common times that a lot of activity happens. And so with that being the case, a lot of times that can kind of dictate some of the signals that come and what time of day they come. Honestly, when I use the scanner, I trade at night before I go to bed. I'll go in there before I go to bed at night and kind of see what setups there are and setups that I can utilize, and then into the trades from there. And a lot of times, I would say about 95% of the time, I wake up in profit, where I don't have to be in the trade super, super long. But it's been once or twice, so I've had to be in a trade for like 3 or 4 days before it finally hit profit. So, so it's not necessarily a particular best time of day, but I would say just kind of start looking at the potential pairs that you like to trade and kind of see what's going on with them to kind of make some type of determination. I know some people that use the scanner first thing in the morning before they go to work, and then some at night and some throughout the day. So you can kind of, gauge based on that. But the awesome thing about it is with the scanner, if you learn how to set up pending orders, you're able to, use the scanner whenever it works and just set it up to say, okay, I'm not looking at my charts right now, but if the market gets to this point, go ahead and buy for me. Or if the market gets to this point, go ahead and sell for me. So as you're learning, would you recommend Auto Trader so that we can learn as we earn? I definitely recommend using Auto Trader if that's something that you want to do. But even in the learning and earning process, you can learn and earn while you are trading on your own as well. Because literally, honestly, if you can copy and paste in your demo to make money, you can copy and paste in your live to make money. So I'm a fan of the Auto Trader. I have Auto Trader, but I also trade on my own as well. So yeah, I recommend it if it's something that you can do. But, definitely even in your learning process, just make sure that you are really delving in to learn. I encourage everybody to try to learn the basic skill sets and, things like that, because some people just want to do auto trading and nothing else. And the thing that I would hate to happen, which is get around the whole movement and our mission, is for everybody to learn a new skill set. I doubt IML is going anywhere anytime soon, but if IML and Christopher Terry decided we're just going to shut down, the people who did auto trader only and never did anything else would not be in a position to make money. They would be right back where they were from the beginning. All right, so looking at this chart at the close, it seems to be retracing or going down. Would this trade be one to set up as a pending order, or should we wait until the scanner indicator marks an entry point? Now, for a new person, I wouldn't recommend that they enter this trade because it's already moved past the entry and this trade is moving. Okay, I would wait for a new analyzation from the scanner to come through. But if you, have been studying and you learn how to track retracement and determine the perfect entry, then you can definitely enter this particular trade because it's definitely in an uptrend. But it's going to, be on a case-by-case basis, determining as far as how I would recommend someone to enter this. But a brand new person, I would say just wait until the next one comes up so you can catch the perfect entry, But if you're in and you've already got to the point where you're able to analyze the market, you are able to understand and see retracing, and you're able to actually, determine those entry points, I would definitely say go ahead and enter. Just to clarify, you can set up pending orders to buy or sell and take profit without having to physically pull out the trade. Is that right? Yes. So basically the way that it works is that once you set up a pending order, the pending order has not actually entered the market as of yet. What the pending order is saying, okay, while she's or he is not looking at their computer or their phone or their trades, if the market comes here, then I'm going to enter the trade. I'm going to stay in the market until it either hits her take profit or it hits her stop loss. Okay. So that's how that pending works. Now, you never have to touch it and just wait for it to do one or the other. Or if you get to the point where you're actually able to look at your trades, you can go ahead and take the profit on it and be done. So that's basically how that will work. Any other questions? And I still really want to show y'all. Let me see if I can take a screenshot right quick and maybe share it that way. So bear with me. I'm still, you're welcome. The scanner is on as long as the market is open. So right now I'm in the scanner, but if you look at the top right over here, it says closed. So it's not scanning or doing anything, but it still allows you to come in here and, take a look at stuff. So like that person who's going to start becoming independent in their trading and they want to look at the last thing the scanner saw before the market closed over the weekend, you can come and look. You could come and look and see what's going on to look at potential setups. Like I showed you that other trade that I'm going to be looking at tonight to see about a potential setup for that. So you can always, come back and look at stuff like that. So let me pull up my MetaTrader. So I think I'm gonna be able to share it, you guys, but I'm gonna have to do screenshots. So give me 1 second. Keep asking questions while I do this. How long are you usually in these trades? It can vary. There are some times that I could put a trade in at like 11 at night and go to bed and then wake up in the morning and I'm in profit and then I close out. But then there are times I could enter a trade and I could be in the trade 3 or 4 days. The longest trade I've been in was 7 days, but that's very rare. I haven't so much lately with that. What if the entry point has passed but it is close? Would you suggest to wait or try to get in? You're welcome. I would probably, it depends on where it is. If it's not right at the entry point, but it's close, I probably would still try to get in. But like in this case, if the entry point was down here and when I looked, it was halfway to the take profit or almost at the take profit, I probably wouldn't enter it. So it doesn't have to be on the exact point per se, but very, very close would be ideal. All right. So bear with me 1 second. I'm about to show you how to enter. Well, I think since the market's closed, it's not even going to let me go to the screen to enter a trade. Yep. It won't even let me do it because the market's closed. So I can't even show you how to do a pending anyway. So I'll make sure that you get the video out on that. And I'll also do another video recording. The video I'm going to send out is not from me. It's from somebody I found online. But I will definitely get that out to you guys so you can see it. Will the scanner give us an idea of where to set the stop loss? Yeah, the scanner gives you your take profit. The scanner gives you your stop loss and your entry. So if you look at this particular chart that I have up right now, I'm making it small so you can see your entry here, you see your stop loss here, and you see your take profits. So the scanner always gives you your entry, stop loss, and take profit and the pair. And so if you identify those 4 things, you're able to go into your MetaTrader and look for USDJPY. You would do a buy limit in this case, and you would set your entry. And then where it asks you for your stop loss, you will enter that. And where you ask for your take profit, you will enter that based on if you pick take profit 1, 2, or 3. And so, yeah, it's that simple. It's literally copying and pasting. All right. How do we move our stop loss so that the trades will close in profit? All right. So basically, and I wish I could show you this. Maybe we'll do another training this week to where I can actually go live on my phone and show you while the market is open. So basically, whenever you do have a trade and you want to, and let's just say you enter this particular trade and your stop loss is at this 114.158. All right. And then as you can see, this trade has gone up and it's gone to take profit 2. Because you entered at 115.059, you're in profit right now. Okay. And if you want to adjust your stop loss, all you do is, and everybody on this line should have at least entered 1 trade so far. So all you do is go to your trade section on your MetaTrader 4 app. And when you go to your trade section, you go to the particular trade in question and you swipe it to the left and hit modify, which is that second icon that's a pencil. So when you hit modify, it allows you to change your take profit and it allows you to change your stop loss. Okay. And so when you go in there and change your stop loss, you pick where you want to set it at, and it could be anywhere as long as it's less than the current market price. So like if I was in this particular trade and I entered at the right point and the market was up here, I would probably put my stop loss at take profit 1. So you're literally able to go in and change your stop loss to 116.242. And as I stated, you can really set it anywhere that you want to, as long as there's some form of profit there. And then from that, if the market was to come back down, whenever it hit take profit 1, it will pull you out. And because you were in profit, you close out with profit. So you're not in the red. Okay. Let me see. Are you able to see the current price on the scanner? Yeah, this little red number right here, this 116.947, that's where the current price is. And you can always tell because you see where the candlestick is right there. This gray one that's moving is me moving right here. But if you look where the candlestick is and look to the right where the red is, that is where the current price is. One of the things I hear a lot of people say is pay attention to the letter D. Can you elaborate? Okay. And somebody explain, if the D is below A, B, C, then you would buy. If it is above, then you would sell. Yeah, perfect example. So if D is down here, then you're setting up for a buy. If D was above, it's set up for a sell. Any other questions, you guys? On your phone, as far as set and take profit 1, 2, or 3, you actually just pick one. It's not setting all 3. So it's going to be based off of your personal preference as far as, mitigating your risk. You may want to just take a small risk, like, hey, let me just hit this profit and get out. Or you may say, I want to go longer. So you just choose which one you want to do. And then on your phone, that's what you enter. And thanks, Michelle. Yay. Any other questions? Yep, it's definitely being recorded. And I will make sure that I get this posted today. You should probably see it in Telegram within the hour after this call is over. Alrighty. Let's see. I would say the scanner's accuracy is about 90 to 93%. As far as how someone reads their profit based off of this trade, I was trying to do it earlier, but it would not allow me to for some reason. You're actually able to, let me try it again. Give me 1 second. If I can show you. And everything that you see right now, you guys, is exactly the same on your phone or your tablet. If you go to IML harmonicscanner.com on your phone or your tablet, it looks exactly the same as what you see right now. Okay. All right. So yeah, my trainings are not really on there. They're under my name, Camille Westmoreland. So you'll be able to actually follow mine and subscribe to it, so you can see my trainings. I do the Forex trainings, but I do more so other strategy type things and stuff like that. But I'll make sure that you all have access to it. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get notifications when I post, because as I stated, I am going to do a swipe trades and I am going to do a pending order video. So you'll be able to have access to that. All right, so it says, so if you set up take profit at number 3 and it ends up going past that and back down, did you take profit at 3, or does it take profit at the stop loss? No, if you set your take profit at take profit number 3 and it hits that point, it pulls you out. So regardless if it goes past it or not, you're coming out at take profit 3. Now, if you set yourself at take profit 3 and it doesn't hit take profit 3 and it starts to go back down, if it gets back down to your stop loss, it pulls you out in a loss. If D is below ABC, then it's about, okay. Let me see. Yes, I like training on the weekends. All right, let me see what other questions you guys got. Okay. So from entry, how does one read? Okay, that's what we were trying to figure out. How do they read their profit? I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages. Let me make sure I'm not skipping anybody. Okay. So if the price is already at 117 and the entry point is 115, I wouldn't enter it because you missed the entry for what the scanner has predicted. So if you go ahead and enter that trade and it doesn't go in your favor and goes back down and you're at a loss, you know, is really not worth it. I would just wait it out for something else because the scanner's always looking. So, you know, it's different things that's going to always come up. So if it doesn't hit your take profit 3 and it goes back down, no profits at any of the take profit 2 or 1 or stop loss. The only way you're going to take profit at a stop loss is if you've actually moved the stop loss into your profit zone. If you never moved your stop loss, then if you let it go down to your stop loss, then it's keeping you from blowing your account, but you're taking a loss. The market, when you enter a trade, even though you have a take profit 1, 2, and 3, you cannot enter all 3 take profits into the trade. You can only enter 1. So if you put take profit 3 and it doesn't hit take profit 3 and you see that price is starting to go back down away from take profit 3, just close the trade out and profit wherever you are. You know, profit is profit, you know. So, you know, if you not looking at it and it goes up and not hit it and goes back down, it'll pull you out wherever your stop loss is. So if your stop loss is in the negative zone, it pulls you out in the negative. If your stop loss is in the positive, it will pull you out in the positive. So, all right, I'm going to get to your question about the stop loss and stop limit. Those are 2 different things, just to, you know, so I'll explain that. So it says, so if at 117 and it shows a take profit at a number below 117, say 114, would I enter this trade? I wouldn't enter it based off of what, let's see, if it's 117 and it's at 114. I would do a couple things before I decided on it. It depends, number 1, on what time frame you're looking at, because that can determine how long it'll be before it actually gets all the way down there. Number 2, I would look at the overall trend, because remember, the trend is your friend. If it is an uptrend on pairs, I technically only enter buys. If it's a downtrend, I only enter sales. And so it'll be a whole bunch of different things that I personally would take into account. But if that one was one that actually came from the scanner, if it was this particular pair and the scanner was set up for a, so just to make sure I'm understanding, so it's at 117, it's a take profit at a number below. If the scanner is telling me that it's a sale and that 117 is near the entry point, I would enter it without thinking twice about it. But in this particular case, it's an uptrend, meaning it's a buy. I wouldn't enter a sale on this particular one because it's a buy. So it's going up. So if I enter a buy, it's an uptrend, meaning why would I sell? You got what I'm saying? So those are things that you want to look at. A scalper would just chase it one way or the other, and that's risky. I'm not against scalping, as I stated before. But for the purposes of this particular learning experience, you want to, you know, trade the trend and look at those different things. Now, with regards to a stop loss, the stop loss is basically a way for you to say, I want to limit my loss. So I'm going to enter this trade, but if this trade gets to negative XYZ, then just close me out. I would rather take the loss. That's basically what a stop loss is saying. So it's almost like you're risking money in order to gain money. So like for me, when I trade, I don't ever risk more than like 10 to 20% of my account. So if I have $100 in an account, if it's getting towards like negative $20, I'm about ready to pull out of that particular trade. So, so that's what that is. Now, as far as the stop limit, that goes into the pending orders that I mentioned earlier, that I'm going to post a video as well as a chart in the groups right after this call is over. But that's just basically setting up to say, if the market does this, then, Actually, stop limit is sell limit. So it's not a such thing as a stop limit. You have your stop loss and that's it. You have a sell limit and a buy limit and a sell stop and a buy stop. So that might have been where that confusion came in. But stop loss is the way to keep you from blowing your actual account. You know, even though you take a loss, but it keeps you from having major loss. So stop losses are extremely important. All right. So any other questions for me, you guys? I know we've been on for about an hour, and I definitely want to respect your time, but I definitely wanted to do this call, you know, because I had got a lot of messages wanting training. So I'm super excited you all jumped on. So I'll take this question, Tanya. How do you do a partial close? The same way that you do to modify your stop loss. Basically, with the partial close, you will go to your trade and you hit modify, that second icon, which looks like a pencil. And when you go there where you can change your stop loss and take profit, you can also change your lot size. You have to have at least a 2-cent lot in order to partially close. So what happens is when you go to modify, and let's just say you're in loss or profit and you want to pull part of it, you go to modify. And once you go to modify, you'll see that lot size that says 0.02 or 0.10 or whatever it is. You go in there and change it. So when you go in there and change it, you can change the 0.01, or if you have like a 0.10 lot, you can do anything from 0.01 to 0.09, basically. And when you change it, it'll tell you how much profit you're going to pull out ahead of time. And it'll tell you or how much loss you want to go ahead and take on a particular trade. And then once you do that, you just hit modify and it'll go ahead and pull that part out of the trade and keep you in the rest of the trade. And no, I did not go over the swipe trades because I could not connect my phone to the screen. So you'll see a video on that. Do you only trade the 1 hour while using the scanner? No, I look at the I click on the scan for H1, H4, and D1, but as you can notice here, you see H4 charts, H1, D1. So you see them all there, but I normally only trade certain pairs. Like I like to trade the USD JPY and the Euro USD. So even in looking at these scans, I look for pairs that I like to trade. I don't just pick one just because it's there. I may pick it to look at it, but I may not necessarily enter it. I always look for the pairs that, you know, I like to trade, but I don't care which time frame they're on, as long as they're on H1, H4, or D1. But just know, like if you do a D1 chart or H4, you can be in that one for a couple days, whereas the H1 chart, you can pretty much get out of that one in a couple of hours, in most cases. All right, I'm going to take one more question. We're right at our 1 hour mark. I want to take one more question from you guys. If anybody has any questions, I definitely thank you guys for jumping on the call and webinar, and it will be posted within the hour. Can you enter the trade as many times as the take profit are shown? I'm not sure if I really understand the question, but if I saw this particular trade and I wanted to buy it, I could enter this buy 10 times if I wanted to, you know, or however. But honestly, if you want to enter multiple trades, I enter one and wait for it to get into profit and make sure that I see it going into profit before I enter the rest. Because if it's going in the opposite direction, then I have all these trades in and they're all going down, I'm at a loss. So you want to see that confirmed. You want to see that confirmed movement, but you can enter a trade as many trades as you would like for it to be moved. Awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Hey, Ebony, thank you for jumping on. All right. Oh, Moses, I didn't even realize it was you. Hey, Moses, Chantel. I'm saying all my hays at the end, but hey, y'all. So thank y'all for jumping on. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap. As always, if y'all have questions, post them in the chat. I'll definitely be happy to answer them. Some of you have my number. Shoot me a text. Rashard wants to be unmuted, so give me a second. He may have something to say, so give me 1 second to unmute the Duncans. Let's see. Where y'all at? Hi, Mr. Duncan.
Hey, Camille, how are you?
Excellent.
Listen. There is no way in the world I could let this meeting go by. Like, seriously, you guys, everybody type in the chat right now, say, love you, Camille. If you were blessed from this training, this impromptu training that was spirit-led, that was in popular demand, people wanted it, she delivered over 120 people eating from this training. Camille, I wanted to go public. I know you're not that type of person. You're not asking for the kudos, but Camille, I salute you on your leadership and you stepping to the plate and delivering this fantastic training and showing people how to eat from the Harmonic scanner. So you guys say, love you, Camille. Camille, I just had to go on the record and say I salute you, and your leadership is just impeccable. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love you guys too. Yay. I'm so excited. You know, like our whole thing is to make sure everybody eats. And I love that Our Markets Live has definitely made that possible. So, you know, we're always here for you guys and whatever we can do. So super excited to connect with you guys. And those of you in Dallas, I look forward to hugging each and every one of you all next week. So if y'all have questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. Be on the lookout for the posting within the hour of this training, and make sure that you share it with all of your people, other traders and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and wrap, but I love you guys and thank you guys so much for jumping on here, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll keep it moving tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. God bless.